In this tutorial, you will learn about CSS height and width properties. The height and width properties are used to set the height and width of an element. The height and width properties do not include padding, borders or margins. It sets the height and width of the area inside the padding, border and margin of the element. So this is the HTML file where I have created 3 divs, and then in the CSS file I have styled those 3 divs using height and width properties. So the height and width properties may have the following values. First one is the auto. This is default. The browser calculates the height and width. The second one is length, which defines the height and width in pixels, centimeter, etc. Third one is percentage. It defines the height and width in percent of the containing block. Fourth one is initial, which sets the height and width to its default value. And the fifth one is inherit. In this, the height and width will be inherited from its parent value. Now let's see some examples. So over here I have styled first division, where the height is 200 pixels, the width is 50 pixels and the background color is powder blue. And this is how it looks on the browser, the first div. So this will occupy 50% of the width and the height is 200 pixels. And if I minimize the window, the size of the window, you will see that the size of the div the width of the div will decrease. That is, it will maintain 50% of the window of the screen size. For the next div, the height is 100 pixels and the width is 500 pixels. And this is how it looks on the browser. The second div displays height of 100 pixels and width of 500 pixels. Then there's also a property called max width and max height. Now the max width property is used to set the maximum width of an element. The max width can be specified in length values like pixels, centimeter, etc. or in percentage of the containing block or set to none. This is default, which means that there is no maximum width. Now the problem with the div above, the second example, occurs when the browser window is smaller than the width of the element, which is 500 pixels. The browser then adds a horizontal scroll bar to the page. Now if I go to the browser and I minimize the window to say less than 500 pixels, it will add a scroll bar, horizontal scroll bar at the end. So using max width instead in this situation will improve the browser's handling of small windows. The value of the max width property overrides width. So for the last division over here, I have used max width property and the value is 500 pixels and the height is 100 pixels like the previous example. So on the browser you will see that even when I reduce the size of the screen, let's say that I remove the first 2 divisions, you will see that there is no scroll bar at the end of the screen over here. and as I increase the size of the window, this is how it looks. So that is the use of max width property. I hope you have understood the height and width, CSS height and width properties. Thank you.